Hello and welcome to Love Samantha Lee, More Than Just Pretty Podcast. I'm your host, Samantha Lee, and here we explore love, life, spirituality, and relationships through the lens of real beauty, the kind that begins the moment you decide to be unapologetically yourself. Join us as we dive into heartfelt discussions that challenge, inspire, and connect. Are you ready to embrace your true self? Let's get into it, family. So, guys, it's great to see you guys. It's great to, well, not see you guys. This is different. Great to connect with my family on this here podcast. This week is going to be an interesting episode, a pretty transparent one, where I had to make a difficult decision. And you guys, I wanted this podcast to be something that was kind of like a journal as I'm walking through different things in my life, just being transparent about what God has put on my spirit. And I just prayed even before I got on here, like, God, speak through me because I have no idea where exactly you want to take this thing. I prayed that dangerous prayer last week, and y'all, it took us on a ride, didn't it? It took us on a ride. And so this week is no different as I've been confronted with some things that I want to share with you guys. So, as I was preparing for this, I had thoughts about a situation, you guys, that happened not uh it wasn't that long ago, but it was, whatever. It was a while ago. And it was a situation where, you're after a divorce, when you're starting to date, it's weird, okay? It's just a weird space because you're kind of in a place, especially in the very beginning, where you're wanting at first, like in the very beginning, you're wanting that connection, you're wanting consistency, you're wanting those things. And you may find yourself in a position where you're trying to make something work that just shouldn't work, right? Because you've been in the headspace of trying to make something work. And I think that can cause us, as a lot of people, especially right after a divorce, to get caught up in relationships they really don't belong in because they didn't take the time to really learn how to be single again, because it is a process. I mean, it just is. You spent most of your, however long, there's people that have been married for 20 years, people that have been married 5 years, whatever. You've been accustomed to trying to make something work, to kind of push through. And then when you're dating, you're trying to figure out if this is somebody you want to make it work with. And if you don't have, even people from like long that are in long relationships with people may struggle with this after being with somebody for a long time. And now you back on the dating market and you don't really know what it's like to be single with somebody else. It's uncomfortable. You have to open yourself up. It's hard. It just is. And so what I found in that process was that there were times that I've been confronted with where I was trying to force things to fit that don't fit. That maybe in my mind I had envisioned something. And y'all, my I don't know what's up with my mind. But my mind can literally create a whole narrative, like a whole story, a whole persona of who a person is and what it will be like. It's like fantasy land in my world. You give me some things that I like and I create a whole story that makes it make sense and makes it fit and all that stuff. And the reality of it is, a lot of what I'm connected to is not the person in and of itself, is what I created about that person in my own mind. Does that make sense? You know how you find somebody, you like them, you're attracted to them, and you just start attributing positive things to them. I read about it. It's called the halo effect. You just start, oh, well, you know what? They're probably this. They're probably loyal. They're probably this. They're probably hardworking. You just start creating this like fantasy person based upon like little things that you think are aligned with you. And that may not be that person. It's just you done created a human being with all these perfect characteristics in your head. And I have had to be confronted with that and start making executive decisions. And what I mean by that is this. I had a moment where I said, wait, hold on. It's like God will do these God checks. Let's start there. When you start praying the prayer like, God, I don't want what you want for me. God, align my heart with yours. God, search me, God, know my heart, test me, know my anxious thoughts, point out anything in me that offends you and lead me along the path everlasting. Like when you start praying those kind of prayers, you need to be prepared. Okay. Let me just start there. You need to buckle your seatbelt because God is going to start revealing things in his time. And there was a time where you guys, I had created this narrative of a person. I mean, I really did. And my experience didn't match the narrative I had created. So instead of just accepting the behavior I was receiving from that person, I gave them excuses. I gave them passes. I'm like, oh well, they're just probably just, or they, it's fine. They just probably just, stress. Something like just creating like passes for them because I had already become committed to the version of who they were and what they were doing in my mind. And I had a moment with God where he was like, it was almost like it hit me like, wait, whoa. Hold on, hold up. What are they doing? What are they saying? Would you let anybody come at you this way? Like, would you let anybody be this inconsistent? Would you allow anybody to be like, I just started thinking about it. I'm like, I can't allow this to happen. I can't allow this to happen. I have got to start making some executive decisions. I can't like you more than my standards. I can't like you more than what I know I need. Now, there are things we do not need. There's preferences that we have. Like if somebody is a certain height or looks a certain way or is a certain weight or has a certain career or makes a certain amount of money, whatever that may be for you, those are more negotiable. When we talk about standards, they may be certain aspects of your personality that you need from an individual and that you cannot run from no matter how hard you try. So one of those things for me, and I share it a lot, is consistency. I can't do inconsistency, family. I can't. And I get the beginning phases. I get like getting to know somebody, totally understandable. Like I get it. Like you don't know this person, blah, blah. But over time, we gonna have to have we gonna have to have something. We're gonna have with this some gotta be understood. Some gotta be something. I don't do well in ambiguity. I just don't. Right. And so I have learned over time, like that is something I can't apologize for because that is who I am. Like I just need consistency. Now, some people don't need as much consistency as others. Like I'm not one of them people that needs somebody to be around me every single day. This is not my thing. I don't need somebody to talk to me all day long, text me. I don't need that. I just need a certain regular pace of communication. I just, that's all I need. But I am more of a loner. I am somebody that's kind of like caught up in my purpose. I work a lot. So I'm not one of those type of people that just needs to be up under somebody. That's just not my personality per se. However, I do need in order for me to feel connected and safe and okay, I need to know what it is. I need to be used to it. I'm security seeking. It is what and consistency brings about a feeling, whether it's real or not, of security. And so I'm telling myself, y'all, I'm telling myself on this on podcast, I'm telling on myself. So if someone's inconsistent or they're consistently inconsistent, I can't do it. I just can't. But there's been times in this process where I've tried to make something that just doesn't fit. Whether it was certain like finite aspects of my life. Like let's say somebody struggled with me having a child, like how am I supposed to make that work? I have a child. There's nothing I can do about the fact that I have a child. So if it nowadays, I don't even dance with that. If you don't like it, it's cool. Then we go on to the next one. Cause my baby girl, like that's a part of me. Like if you don't accept her, you don't accept me. So moving on. Right. And I find that women sometimes they struggle with that because they feel like their child is in the way they finding a man. And I vehemently disagree. I feel like the man that you're supposed to be with, that God has for you, accepts every aspect of who you are, including you being a child. And I don't think that is going to limit you from the person. The only person that is able to limit what God has for you is you. We've talked about that in my last episode. My enemy is my inner me. Okay, so when you believe that that's what's going to limit you, then you're going to attract that limiting you, right? So I've changed my focus. I'm like, no, this is who I am. Take it or leave. If you don't like the fact that you don't want to date women with children, cool, that's fine. Well, be blessed. I don't hide that, and I find that women hide that. I don't get that, but I know that's besides the point.
Stay cool and choose from over 40 in-stock ceiling fans for under $100, plus an 11% rebate at Menards. We carry the largest selection of in-stock Hunter ceiling fans, available in a variety of designs, finishes, and features. Create the perfect look and lighting for any room with a new Hunter ceiling fan. Visit Menards.com and view our entire selection of Hunter ceiling fans, plus the weekly flyer and other great deals going on now.
Save big money at Menards.
My whole point in saying anything that I'm saying is that there have been times where I found myself compromising things that I know that I need or things that I know that I am in order to force something to fit that just isn't meant to fit. And when I was confronted with this, when something was going on in my own life and I had to, I had created this narrative. I've been committed to this narrative of who this person was. I was committed to this narrative and that I created. It's not their fault. It was me. I was confronted with the reality that this isn't the person. Like no matter how much I want to, that's not the experience that I'm getting from them. I'm not getting what I need. They're not giving what I need. So regardless of how you want to frame it, spin it, flip it, turn it inside out, upside down, my experience doesn't match the person I've created in my mind. And that left me to making kind of a heartbreaking decision, even though, I hadn't gone anywhere. It wasn't a situation like that where it's like, deep or we in this situation or whatever. It hadn't even gone there, which I thank God for. That was God protecting me. But I just had to be confronted with, okay, I know you liked that. And I know that was something that you thought was going to be more. I think that you created more of that than what was really there. And y'all, that was, I ain't gonna lie, that took me out a little bit. Especially if you've, made passes for somebody, excuses for somebody for so long. You start getting mad at yourself because you're like, dang, why didn't I just accept this for what it was to begin with? I could save myself a whole lot of time. But sometimes we don't have all the situations. And that's where it kind of leads me to speaking today, where I had a conversation with God where I was like, God, why didn't you tell me this sooner? Why didn't you tell me this sooner? I wish you would have told me this sooner so I didn't have to go through this and go through that or feel this and feel that. Like, why now? Because I tell you guys, when I pray that prayer that I expressed to you guys before, God will He will give me a check. He will put it in my spirit and I have to move on it. I call it, y'all, the holy eject button. People laugh at me that know me. They know what time it is. I say the holy eject button. He will hit that holy eject button and it is what it is. You gotta go. Or I gotta go. Whatever that may be. Right? And that could be with a number of different situations. It could be situations I'm in. It could be, friends I've had. It could be relationships I'm entertaining that I shouldn't. Whatever that may be, God will hit that holy eject button. And on that day, I'm done with it. On that day, I'm experiencing what the new generation calls an ick that I cannot run away from. That it's like, okay, girl, what you about to do? Because now I feel it. Now I see it. Now I'm aware of it. Now I can't run away from it. I'm like, oh no, I am done. This is okay. This is it. And I gotta move. But I was talking to God and I'm like, God, why wait? Why did you wait that long? Like, you could have stopped me, X amount of time ago. Like, you don't let me have, create this narrative, do this, do that. Like, why? Like, why did you wait to this moment to do this? Y'all, you know what God gave me? Well, first of all, part of the person to blame here obviously is me, right? We're not gonna say this is all God's fault. This is Sam doing what Sam does, loving love, wanting that connection, wanting that person or whatever, and doing what she does, being emotional. So I gotta take that on the chin, right? That's me. That's my makeup. That's what I know about me. But I think a part of that is understanding that there's a reason for it all. There's a reason for it all. There's a reason for my attractions. There's a reason for every part of my story, for the things that worked out and what didn't. And I think it took me a while to accept that sometimes, of course, I wanted things to play out a different way. But maybe God's intention was for it to happen at that moment for whatever reason that was. And I spent some time after that situation letting it go. Spent a lot of time like toiling with myself. Like, why didn't I just I remember getting those messages like, how they gonna send me that? Or how they gonna talk to me like that? Are you kidding me? Like, who do they think they are? Like, you getting mad, like you looking at the situation with different eyes. The rose-colored glasses, they off your face now. You seeing it for what it is. Like, how did I deal with this? How did I deal with that? How could they have done this? How could they have done that? You start getting mad. Like, why did I allow this person to have this much resonance for this long, and I'm not paying attention to some of the signs that I've been getting that I've been allowing? I've been allowing this. That's the truth. I've been allowing it. And you teach people how to treat you. So me sticking around and me engaging and me talking and me, whatever, that's me being complicit to me being in this position. And now I'm mad at me. Like, girl, come on now. Stand on business. And y'all, that's why I did this podcast today. I did this podcast today because I feel like I'm not the only one that does this. I know I'm not the only female that does this. I know I'm not the only male. Not the only male. I'm female, obviously. I know that men do this as well. Females do this, men do this, right? Where we start creating people in our minds that we are so connected to, or feel that we're so connected to, that we're so aligned with, and we're not necessarily looking at our experience of them. It's more of like, on paper, this all makes sense. On visually, this all makes sense. You start getting so excited because it feels like, oh my gosh, this is right. This is it. This makes sense. Blah, blah, blah. You just, and then you have to go back to your experience. Like, what is your experience though? Is that who they're showing themselves to be? Are you believing what they're giving you? And I had to be confronted with the fact that no, I wasn't. I'm sure there was a version of them that I was getting some of the things that I desired, and they were meeting certain things that I needed, but I realized in a time frame there's a time, a portion of time where I was not getting that. I wasn't feeling respected. I wasn't feeling this. I went whatever that is for me. For my own reasons, I realized like, okay, no, Sam, you tripping. You tripping, boo. You tripping. I'm going to need you to make some executive decisions. I'm going to need you to start seeing this for exactly what it is. Instead of giving excuses, passes, wanting it to see, I don't need you to do that. I need you to look at it for exactly what it is. What is it? And if you can't answer, it's been too long for you not to have an answer. And I've had to make executive decisions. And so there's more, like I said, there's more than just me that does this, where we can get so caught up in a person, so caught up in what it seems like, so caught up in what it, looks like or whatever. And before we even have had a moment with this person or an experience with this person, we've already decided who this person's going to be and what role they're going to play. And we have to start being honest with ourselves and not creating this version of them in our minds and not waiting till down the road where we're now confronted with the reality of what it actually is. We got to let it go. We got to let it go. You might be sad. You might be mad at yourself. You might feel all different kinds of ways, but I'm here to tell you, sis, bro, let it go. Let it go. If someone is in your life that you are seeing, that you are dating, that you are in a relationship with, that you are friends with, and you are, maybe that friendship was really, really great. Y'all were super connected at one point in your life, but now you are confronted with the reality that y'all are not on the same page, that y'all do not want the same things. At some point, you have to say, look, this person, the only thing we've got in common is my past. And I'm trying to move forward. I'm trying to get greater, go higher, do more. This person wants to stay where I left 10 years ago, 5 years ago. And you have to say, I'm going to have to love you from the balcony because where I'm going, you can't come with, you don't want to come with me. It ain't even that I don't want you to come with me. You don't want to come with me. You gotta let it go. You gotta say, I love you, but I just can't be with you. I just can't hang with you like that. I just can't give you my ear like that. I just can't give you my attention like that. I saw this quote the other day, y'all, and this thing resonated with me, y'all. And I know it's gonna resonate with you. I know it. I know it. I know it. I know it. This thing gonna resonate. Okay, let me find it because I want to give you the exact quote, y'all, because this is what I'm living by, and I hope that all that is listening to me right now, I hope that this resonates with you. Up the price on your presence, baby. Up the price on your presence. Sometimes we giving our presence for free, y'all. We giving our presence, our energy, our time, our investment for free. For what? What are we doing that for? What are we doing that for? No. Up the price on your presence. I don't care how great they look on paper versus what you look like on paper with them. And it just makes all the sense in the world. And we would just do this and have beautiful babies together. And we done created all of these things. And you're not dealing with the reality that this person don't want the same things as you. There's people that I know that like, man, I just feel like we would look so good together and we would just do all these things together and blah, 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 blah. And we could get married, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, but do they want to get married? Well, no, but I think that could change. Well, do they want to have kids? No, they don't want kids, but that could change. No, you can't. There's certain things, family, that you just can't ignore. There's certain things that you just, when you see it, you've got to move. And a lot of people, because they're comfortable, a lot of people get comfortable, whatever that may be. I don't know what it is. A lot of times it's comfortability. Oh, I know them. They know me. I don't need to push them. They don't need to push me. We know what time it is. It's just easy. Whatever that may be for you. The reality of the situation is this, family. You cannot run from your experience with this person. Stop excusing it. Stop excusing the things that you tolerated. Stop excusing the things that have occurred, the text messages, the disrespect, what you perceive as disrespect, their behavior towards you, what they are doing, the choices that they're making. Y'all, I have done that so many times in my life because I love somebody. And I just was like, well, maybe they was going through this. And my therapist always says, your favorite question is wanting to know why. Oh, y'all, I don't want to cry. This is real. This is deep. She said, Sam, you always want to know why. Why are they doing that? Why are they saying this? Why? She said, I know you always want to know why, but does the why matter? The why doesn't matter. Not right now. What matters right now is what they did. And y'all, a therapist mindset is why? But she was basically saying, like, yeah, it's good to try to gain understanding, but some of us get stuck in trying to understand that we don't make a move that we need to make. We get so lost in excusing the behaviors, the inexcusable behaviors of the people that we love, that are close to us, that we're in relationship with, that we don't see it for what it is. Stop saying why. Well, they treat me this way because they was dealing with this as a child, or they went through this traumatic experience, or they're disrespectful because of what I did a couple years ago, and so that's why they do what they. And we can get lost in our why, that we negate the experience, and we can stay in places that they no longer water us. They're no longer fulfilling, or places where you can be content, because you're with a person that doesn't want to be content. Not with you. For whatever reason they have, whatever reason that is their own. I've had to work on stop getting lost in the why. Why? Why are they doing? Why? Why does it matter? At some point, yes, it does matter. I ain't gonna say it doesn't. However, the truth about your relationship with a person is your experience with them. Your experience. What is your experience? What's the truth of your experience? What's the truth of your connection? Who have they been? Who are they to you? Like, what are they attentive? Do they want to know about you? Do they care to know about you? Or is it mostly about them? Are you the one who's always reaching out? Are you always the one that's trying to get things right and get back on track? Is it you? Are they disrespectful? Do you feel like you got to walk on eggshells? Do you feel safe communicating with them or not? That's the truth. Does that person make you feel insecure? Do they say things to poke holes into your esteem? Are they not kind to other people? Or are they kind to everybody else but you? That's the truth of your experience. A lot of us, we run away from the truth of our experience and try to make something fit that just doesn't fit, no matter how hard you try. Up the price of your presence, family. Don't just give it away for free to people who truly don't appreciate it. Even Jesus understood. He understood that when he went and returned to his hometown after he started his ministry, he understood that because of the way people saw him in his own hometown, he was very limited in what he could do there. He was very limited in who he could heal and how many miracles he could do. Why? Because the truth of his experience, it wasn't about the why. The why was like he was raised in this town. I know his daddy. He's the carpenter's son. That was the why. They couldn't accept him being anything more than just that. The why didn't matter. He still couldn't do as much as he would have wanted to do because they were stuck on a past version of him. They were stuck in what they knew about him in the past. Like, oh, he was raised there. We saw him as a kid. He ain't no Messiah. He ain't no good teacher. Like he Joseph's son. Like, we know who he is. Like, what he gonna do? And Jesus couldn't even push past that. So why do we do it? Why do we keep ourselves in places where people just can't see us for real? Can't see us for who we are today. Don't want to connect with us. And instead of trying to excuse away what those things are and how those feelings manifest, accepting it for exactly what it is. Accepting it for exactly what it is. This is the truth of my experience. This is how they respond to me. This is how I feel when I'm with them. This is when they reach out to me. This is the truth of my experience. And am I or am I not going to stand on business? Am I or am I not going to marry my own word here? I can't say because I like them so much that I'm going to continue to push over what I know I need. Whether that be respect, whether that be love, whether that be consistency, whether that be loyalty. Am I going to continuously allow my desire for them to play whatever role in my life negate what I know I need? Family, up the price of your presence. Sometimes you gotta let it go. Gotta let it go. All right, family. Thank you for spending your time with us on Love Samantha Lee, More Than Just Pretty podcast. It has been a privilege to share this space with you where we celebrate being unapologetically ourselves. I hope today's episode has encouraged you to embrace your own unique beauty and the beauty in others. And don't forget to follow us and join our community on social media. Share your journey and your insights, and let's continue this conversation. And until next time, remember, real beauty starts with being true, unapologetically true to yourself. I love you, family. Talk to you soon.